All right. We'll pick up off where we last left off 2 weeks ago. With the Kuathian princess arriving, and eventually a non-aggression pact was signed by the Federation, Klingons, and the Vorkala, along with the um, Kuathians, in a promise to not engage in essentially military activity near each other's borders. While Vogel enjoyed some relaxing time somewhere else, who knows? Uh, Doctor, unfortunately, Doctor Mountain is not here with us today, but from last week or last session, Doctor Mountain was had a surprise visitor of his niece, which he got to uh, know. And as we get started here, we are headed over to certain planet surface where Lieutenant Garibaldi beams down.
And Brax, it's like you're enjoying the beach.
Trying to, Lieutenant.
Trying to. It's not that difficult. Either you do or do not. There is no try when it comes to a beach.
Well, then come and sit down and enjoy this lovely weather in Two Suns. Is it Two Suns? Forget. It's been so long.
Hmm. Were you managing to escape Miss Chamberlain down here?
For the most part. Though she does continuously hound my crew. To no
Well,
avail.
Commander Reef says I can't shoot her, so I have to deal with that for a while. That probably cause more problems than it's worth.
Indeed it will. Uh, unless
You.
you engage in more scrupulous activities.
Well, speaking of scrupulous activities, heard anything from Homeworld lately?
Yes, unfortunately, um, the local police, along with the Trill government, have taken interest in the clinic. Apparently, there are some serious charges being brought up. I doubt you're going to get any information out of them. Not to mention, when I talk with them, they seem pretty genuine that they were unaware of the theft or who was behind it. Seems like our only lead was vaporized right in front of us.
Yeah, it's probably too much time's passed to try to track, to try to figure out where that shot came from. I just hate being a dead end. I don't suppose you had an opportunity to look for codes in your daughter's DNA.
I contacted um, the medical professional that I dealt with on New Minervi, and there is a code within her genetic profile, or inner DNA.
Alphanumeric code. Certainly found one in Hugo's DNA.
Yes, it was 1X002B.
Well, that's different than the one that's in Hugo's DNA. I wonder if it's a don't shoot me for the phrasing, but production number.
Possibly, or an identification number.
What do you think the odds are that whoever's behind this is also behind the infiltration of your logs? I can tell you this leads back at least to the direction of the solar system.
I'm trying not to speculate on those matters, but it's a possibility, or it could be a coincidence.
Well, it could. I'm not particularly fond of not a big believer in coincidences, but I suppose it's just there's something going on. I'm just ever since we got K, ever since Kagu and those Orion showed up on this on our station, keep finding things that trace back in that direction, and then it's like the clues just disappear like vapor.
Well, whoever is behind this is attempting to cover their tracks very well.
Well, so far they're doing a good job, but they're eventually going to make a mistake. We'll find them.
So you asked me about how Kesri came into my care.
Yeah, I was hoping maybe something in that story can lead me in a give me a new clue, at least a new avenue to look into.
I'm not really sure if that's the case, but um, I will attempt to tell you the best way I can, at least from my memories. But I was in in town, getting some supplies, when I spotted a Nausicaan and human with a short cloaked figure as he looks to Kesri, headed from the spaceport. They were attempting to purchase a land vehicle. Was just when I got a glimpse, that it was a child, a trill child at the time. Um, Having already conducted my business, I took my land vehicle and followed them after they rented one. Um, it was about 20 kilometers outside of uh, the colony where a small Orion shuttlecraft had landed, and an Orion woman was waiting for them outside. Uh, while I didn't get the names. I did get the name of the Orion woman, which her name was Madame 70. 70. Sorry. Yeah. Realizing the situation that was unfolding, I acted impulsively and took matters into my own hands. Needless to say, turn events, I was victorious, but it did result in the death of those three. From my knowledge, um, the human trader went by the name Fisher. Um, and his Nausicaan threat, I believe, was a seg from the port authorities on New Minervi. His ship was impounded um, after a month because docking fees. But I did sneak on board and I took the his nav computer, which was destroyed or taken after I went on the mission to find the old expedition. But that is everything in I know.
Were you able to get anything off that nav computer before it was stolen?
It was encrypted and I was waiting for some supplies to come. Um Obviously it takes a long time to get certain computer equipment for decryption when you live out in the middle of nowhere. Um, but it wasn't until after I took Kesri in with the local clinic doctor and found that her DNA was technically part of my child.
And Fisher and this Noskin and Madame Severi, they're all dead?
Yes, and I scuttled her shuttlecraft. She, from what I understand, runs an establishment in Klingon space.
Who runs an establishment in Clinton space?
Madame Severi.
Or she did.
I'm sure someone took it over for her.
I don't suppose you know where in the Klingon Empire that is.
I do not, and I don't care to find out. Because if I do, I would plan to torpedo bomb it to oblivion.
I understand. That would probably be bad for your career.
Not to mention the war that it would start.
Mm. Well, only if you did it with a Federation ship. Captain, one last thing I'd ask you is, do you still want me to keep you in the loop? The
Yes.
more lines of investigation I run out of, the more lines I got to cross. I don't know how much you want to be associated with me once I start crossing those lines.
Saren, I was planning on conducting this by myself. I welcome another fresh perspective on things.
Well, in that case, we'll stay in touch. I'll get us I'll find us some secure comm channels so we can keep in touch without putting ourselves in jeopardy. And I'll let you enjoy what little time you've got left here before the expedition ships out.
Hopefully, it's someplace far away from the press.
Well, the good news is, since you're the captain, you get to decide where you go, mostly, sort of, occasionally.
Only if we were on a 5-year mission. But somehow I think my orders are going to come from Admiral Keller.
Well, stay out of trouble, Captain. I'll be in contact when I've learned something new. Uh,
Understood. And I would say stay out of trouble, but I don't think that's within your operational purview.
if I stayed out of trouble, I wouldn't learn anything.
Then stay safe, Lieutenant.
That I can do, Captain. And Garibaldi will head back to the station, though knowing his paranoid self, he probably beamed down from the Orion ship rather than one of the station's transporters, just to keep Miss Chambers from following him, tracking him, or bothering the captain.
All right. As you head back up to essentially the station through other means, we're going to head over to Ops. Commander Reef, there's a chime at your door.
Go away. No, I'm just kidding. Enter.
The confused look ensign enters uh, enters your office and goes, your morning um, briefs, sir. Um,
I'll tell you what. Ensign. Uh, Ensign. Frala? Was it, or am I mixing you up with someone else?
at some point, you're just going to need to make a supporting character that I can just pull, and that way you know. Uh, we'll go with that. Yes, and it's in Frala, sir.
Absolutely. Hey, and I'd be happy to make my own yeoman. But as very well, Ensign. Good job. Good job. I'll tell you what. My eyes are feeling a little on the elder side today. Why don't you just bullet point it for me and let me know what's up?
The expedition is scheduled to depart within the next couple hours. Um, Everything else is currently at operating capacity from Gamma Shift. Engineering crews report repairs to um, the elixir complete, and it will be departing tomorrow. And someone from Starfleet Security will be arriving later today.
Say that last one again. I apologize.
Um, someone from Starfleet Security will be arriving later today, sir.
What rank?
Commander, Commander Sarkar, Sarkar, Sarkar.
Interesting. Do we have a notice on what that pertains to?
Your eyes only, sir. I lack operational clearance.
Oy vey. Well, we'll have to do something about that, Arif says as he accesses or as he reaches for the pad.
They hand it to you.
Um, and as I'm reading, I'm just gonna check with him and say, is there anything else with which I need to be made aware of, Vincent?
No, sir.
Excellent. Then do me do me a quick favor, and I'll look around ops, and then remembering that Vogel's not there, I'll say, uh, do me do me a quick favor, Ensign. Once you leave my office, why don't you wait about somewhere between 5-10 minutes, and then contact Garibaldi, please, and ask him to meet me.
Understood, sir.
And when the ensign leaves, I'll start looking at the pad to try to get more information on that last doohickey.
Oh, you put in your command codes, and it's about the Omega leak.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna just put the kind of chuck the pad on the table because I don't really need to hear more about that at this particular second. And I suppose I'll wait for Garibaldi.
Who will show up at the narratively appropriate time?
Which is probably about a minute and a half too early, but enter. My Garibaldi.
You want to see me, Commander?
I did. Take a look at this. I'm gonna say, showing him the pad.
Why are they sending someone from Starfleet Security about this?
I was hoping, well, I'm guessing we're gonna be questioned. However, I was hoping you had some more information than I did. Hoping against hope, but still. I'm
Well,
not
news to me. This didn't come out of. This isn't my necessarily my branch of Starfleet.
That's certainly fair, but it might be closer to you than it is to me. That being said, see what you can do about ferreting out maybe a little bit more information about this. After all, we are rapidly approaching it, and we'll know in just a few hours, but I still would prefer not to go into it blind.
Yes, sir. We'll see what I can find out.
And while we're on the subject, it occurs to me that with us, by the way, amazing job uh, in setting up the new diplomatic suites, by the way. I couldn't have asked for a better outcome. Uh, However, one of the issues that it certainly highlights, focuses, is that with the influx of new ambassadors and diplomatic parties that we will be hosting and treating with, I think having only one, uh, I think only having one special room devoted for diplomacy is a little limiting, don't you?
Well, if I had my way, they would all be special.
Well, why don't you have your way with all but one?
Oh, oh, I'd be happy to set that up. I'll order the necessary equipment the next time I talk to my supervisors.
Excellent. And we'll keep it between you, me, and Vogel for now.
No, why don't we scratch the for now from that? The more people that know a secret, the less of a secret it is.
That's fair. And I believe Earth has an old expression that is loose lips sink ships. But that being said, I've learned over the years that never underestimate the power of a new ally.
Oh yeah. Speaking of new allies, you were kind of out of it. We had last week or so. We had a thing happen with the holodecks. I might have invited a species of photonic beings to set up an embassy on the station.
Yes, I've been fully versed on and caught up on the reports, and I am quite impressed. And not 3 minutes ago, I have complimented you fully on your actions in that regard.
Ah, good. I couldn't remember if I told you about that. Always good. Always good for those rare moments when the ask for forgiveness rather than permission thing goes well.
Well, I couldn't have thought up a better solution myself, and I think it's truly in the vein of what both I and our continuing initiative would have wanted. So, for the life of me, I can't think of anything to do but drop praise on you for it.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Commander. All right. Well, if I'm going to learn anything about our impending visitor,
Yeah, go do that.
well, I need to get on it. All right. I'll let you know, Commander. And
Excellent. Post haste.
Garibaldi will go back to his office slash quarters.
And prepared to set up another mine bug minefield.
Yeah. Contact the whatever quartermaster he gets his equipment from, and uh, order the equipment necessary to bug the rest of the diplomatic offices. And while he's talking with his folks back in Starfleet Intelligence, he'll see if he can learn anything about our upcoming visit from Starfleet Security.
We'll handle that next scene as we're going to advance to the next scene and head over to Vogel, who is about to wake up for her get ready for Alpha Shift, as everyone else is starting to get a little early head start. Vogel, as you come to, you hear a voice in the back of your mind that says, "Journey to the village of the forgotten, if you wish to speak with me." And you wake up.
So she'll wake up and just be like, "What the hell was that?" Being not being a morning person, will kind of just lay in bed for a few minutes before finally rolling out and getting ready for her day, and just keeps a mental note of what was said.
All right. Anything you wish to do before you head to ops?
No, just catch up on status updates because I'm sure I'm behind.
Give me Insight Con difficulty 0. Should get some momentum going. Insight Con or Command. Yeah, div 0.
It's all the same. Take a threat.
You like threat. Gain a momentum. As you're playing catch up from your vacation on Kate, you find there was a bit of an officer died due to a photonic being supposedly being entangled with a holodeck that was operating a murder mystery. You've met them before, but only briefly. But members from the Kuathian Empire signed a non-aggression pact with the Federation and its allies in the region. And supposed to be setting up a embassy here on the station relatively in the coming days. I'm trying to think if there's really anything else would be in the briefing. No, rest of it's just kind of status, minor repairs, resupplying of ships. That's about it.
The station not falling apart.
Yeah, station not falling apart. Or almost standard, Garibaldi's watch, but
Hey.
Well, then, yeah, I'll head to ops maybe a little early and do some research on whatever city of Forgotten is or whatever was said.
yeah, you arrived at ops. We'll switch over there.
And I'll go to my station, enter the access codes, and start doing the research.
Let's make this reason science. Yeah, we'll go with science or con. Difficulty of 1.
Stellar cartography focus?
More like research. If you're just
Nope.
searching by the name, like City of the Forgotten.
Station assist?
Yeah, computers, science.
All right, I'll use the momentum.
Let's see. Computers, science.
All right, I'll re-roll the station with my I'll re-roll my complication with cautious. And Garibaldi, you could re-roll the station with my technical expertise.
Come on, 2 momentum gained. 51 searches come up on City of the Forgotten.
Download files and save to datapad.
I have a sound effect for this. files have been downloaded to your datapad. You do find Commander Reef in his office reading reports, and Garibaldi nowhere in sight.
Well, that doesn't surprise me for a Garibaldi.
Well, what else are you doing?
Probably nothing with the data until later. I'll probably do that more on off time or lunch or whatever. But I'll just, look at duty rosters, see what's on the schedule, see what ships are slated to arrive, yada yada.
Docking within probably the next hour or so is the USS Nautilus, carrying one passenger and then departing elsewhere to Starbase Aegis.
Burke, has the suite been readied for our guest from the Nautilus?
I wasn't aware we were having a guest. I'll make arrangements now.
Right, that's what you said. I got the things right.
Yeah, there was one individual. Essentially a Starfleet personnel guest.
What are they going to the station for? Oh, sorry.
It's not noted, ma'am.
Sure, there must be some type of orders from Starfleet. Just indulge my curiosity, see what it is.
It's not listed. It just says they're here to. They're just coming on board temporarily before they leave again. That's really peculiar.
Yes, I believe so. People just don't normally come here for a vacation.
Well,
Note that inconsistency for today's briefing.
Noted. Commander Reese Yeoman already gave him the morning briefing.
Nothing wrong with getting news twice.
Very well. Anything else on the docket?
Seems to be a routine day, hopefully.
Very good. And I'll grab a notepad and head to a Reese office.
Enter.
Commander?
Sarah, you want to hear something actually, kind of weird?
Be adding to my list of weird this morning, but sure.
Okay, so get this. In English, the AH sound is ah, like the end of your name, Sarah. But it also is spelled Sarah, which with your name just spelled Sara, that's kind of like Sarah, which is kind of like the sound at the end of Sarah with the AH. Arif says, kind of obviously in a pretty good mood.
Yes, my parents always enjoyed the alternate spelling of the name Sarah.